Stay tuned after this program for some exciting retail offers on products seen in the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders country western workout video.
Warning: the scenes that you're about to see may be unbearable for some persons.
Previously on VCR Party Live.
And tonight, you'll be with us as we name our top find.
And then I did a little more searching. And then after finding the VIN number on her car, I was able to find...
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. I was able to
No
find...
way.
Whoa!
I was able to find her cell phone number, so I left a message.
You're kidding me.
These cards have the possible addresses of her current and former homes and investment properties. And she mentioned in an article in Tulsa Weekly, I think, in 1994, that she had worked for Wendy's. Well, hello and welcome to my submersible vessel. I'm really shocked at your lack of knowledge about the urethral opening.
Love the cat massage video. I use it to massage my cats.
And so from that, I did the kind of creepy thing of looking for friends and relatives based on similar names.
Do not creep out. Exactly. Triple underline that one, too.
VCR Party Live. VCR Party Live. At the end of the 20th century, a scientist saw a killer comet on its way. He filmed instructions for its destruction over a second-hand VHS tape, but then was hit by a Winnebago. So his assistants Nick and Joe must search every corner of his drone for the cassette that is our only home. But in the meantime, they'll play the greatest hits they find. VCR Party Live. VCR Party Live. Melinda's.
Well,
hello,
Melinda's.
Hey,
It's
everybody.
VCR party time. It's Tuesday night. We're live tonight.
Yes, we are.
And it is George's farewell episode. Oh, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. Yeah. For now, he's going off on a little spiritual journey. He's gonna be back eventually, someday, hopefully. And but anyway, this is the show where we watch VHS tapes. And I'm Joe. That's Nick. There's George. There's Steve. And it's gonna be a sad one tonight. It's going to be
extremely sad, Joe, because, like Joe, as you mentioned, George has announced that he's departing to figure out what he's doing with his life. The show is impeding him, and we're not going to be maudlin about this, though. We're going to celebrate George tonight by playing clips we think he'll like. There'll be various tributes that have poured in from the viewers, and we'll put up some of your comments, and bittersweet. I think that's the tone for tonight's show.
How do you feel, George?
I invite everyone to dance on my grave. We're gonna have a good time. It's like in what is it? The beginning of Live and Let Die, where it's like the the New Orleans funeral procession.
Yeah,
the guy's asking, "What's going on?" And he said, "It's a funeral." Oh, whose? Yours. And then I think they stab him and he falls, and then they put put the casket over him. Then they just walk down the street with him in it, and everybody starts singing and dancing.
And you're going to be the guy in the casket.
I'm going to be somebody. I don't know.
Okay, you're going to be one of those.
I'm going to be Albert Broccoli, the guy who was the producer of the James Bond films in the 60s through the 80s.
Oh, okay.
His daughter doesn't know. I should have written something out. This is terrible.
No, that's why we're going to miss you, is because you say things like that.
Yeah, and for some reason I thought you were talking about the California Raisins villain.
Lick Broccoli.
Lick Broccoli.
Yeah.
There, that was my point of reference. But hey, there's more good news though. We're going to announce the viewers' pick for video of the year for 2024. It was close.
Was
I thought
it?
there was going
I
to be.
didn't
Oh
look.
yeah, and I'm still refreshing because it was. We had a poll up on our Patreon. Anybody could vote. You didn't have to be a patron. Got a lot of votes. It was hotly contested. I'm going to reveal the results later tonight. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
I'm stoked. Let's jump into a Found Footage Festival classic, shall we?
Okay.
You caught me with my pants down, but no one sells carpet or waterbeds for less.
Okay, so one of the first videos that I remember George really being tickled by that I didn't even remember when he brought it up. I think he cut a clip from it or something like after I had played it. It was called Crazy Praisey Worship. And there was a guy who did balloon animals and kind of was like I thought he was a clown, but he wasn't. And he was teaching a religious song to his son called Pharaoh, Pharaoh. Do you remember this, Joe?
I'm about to sneeze, but yes, I do remember this. I remember he had it in VCR Smarty. I remember.
Yeah, it was right. Yeah, and I had forgotten about the clip. It was very unremarkable to me. But George, I think, like a lot of times, was right. I went back to the original tape after George told me what the name of it was, and I think there was more on this tape to mine. So I went through. I pulled more stuff, including that famous moment that George picked out. Pharaoh, Pharaoh. Take a look.
Crazy maniacs, God is cool, and that's a fact. We will.
Sorry, just want to point out that the song's lyrics are "We are crazy maniacs, God is cool, and that's a fact." So, all right, there we go.
We're crazy maniacs, God is cool, and that's a fact. We will sing it to the max.
From the Bible.
Praise His name till we collapse. We're crazy maniacs.
Ooh, look at that drop shadow.
Crazy maniacs.
Hi, I'm Dan Cutchin with Future Hope Ministries, and I'm so happy that you're watching this tape. We travel around the country and parts of the...
Look, he's kind of got a Dr. Schultz ponytail.
Yes, he's full Schultz. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's full Dr. Schultz. Also, he doesn't have a microphone.
Nope. No, it's all on board, except when it goes into the songs, then it's all in stereo. But yeah, I had to put it, it was only out of the left channel when he was talking too. So I did him a lot of favors tonight.
What is that? That isn't a ponytail. That's
It's when you don't want to grow it out long. I think you can kind of put it in like a little mini ponytail.
Who does that?
That
think
guy.
it's unprecedented.
Yeah, I guess something Cutchin from Crazy Praisey Worship does.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, hi, Britches.
Hi.
Oh,
I made it.
Hi. What you doing?
I'm reading the scriptures.
That's good. Reading the Bible is how we get to know God. What you reading about?
I'm reading about Paul where he says, greet each other with a holy kiss.
I don't like clowns with glasses. I just automatically take the glasses off if you're a clown. Don't you think?
Right. It's a little discriminatory, but
What about the oversized novelty ones? Like that would be something, right? That would be acceptable.
sure.
Exactly. I would accept that.
Or oversized novelty contacts. One of the two.
Either one.
Just to be believing and a seeing and a praising and a trusting that Jesus Christ is Lord of all.
The Holy Ghost will take the chicken out of you.
Wait, this week in flying church photos?
I want to be a missionary, serve God every day. Hey, I want to be a missionary at school or at play. Yo, I want to be a missionary, love him and obey. Word.
Now we do the motions.
It's like subliminal messages there. It says word at the end, too.
Word.
Now we do the motions for Pharaoh, Pharaoh.
Oh, here it
we
is.
go. Pharaoh, Pharaoh, oh baby, let my people go. Huh. Yeah, 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 yeah. You say, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, whoa baby, let my people go. Huh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now Satan, put your finger, I can't do it because of my hat. I'll take my hat off. Satan is like, you like this, so do like this. Satan is like old Pharaoh too. He's got men doing what he wants him to, because that's somebody imitating another person. But God sent Jesus to tell him so. to back off, Jack, and let my people go. Okay, that's Pharaoh Pharaoh.
That spoke to you, George, huh?
Well, I think I knew
Ron
that if
Bridges Crippins.
if you put where are my britches at? The where I think I put it over a beat for something else as part of like a supercut thing, and it
I
just
think you
really
did,
works with the
matched
beat.
up.
And
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
I
you
remember
guys really laughed at that when we watched it. Or before I was on. That was like episode 30.
Yeah, I feel like that was very early in the show. I didn't even remember what the tape was. So, but that really struck you, and I thought I would revive it for your farewell.
Is that a Found Footage Festival classic, Nick? I don't know.
Hey, George,
it seems like a ravioli to me, but what?
It's George's show. He declared it a
fighting
classic.
on the last episode.
I don't know.
Every classic starts as a ravioli, as Jesus said.
Yeah,
All right.
I think that's a
Leviticus.
Because it's been in a lot of George montages. All right, are we selling out? Yeah.
Steve, you selling out to anybody? You are.
Oh, we are. We're going back to Toledo, Ohio. I'm selling out for the House of Dow. House of Dow is a. Hold on one second.
What are we?
By the way, they sent a really nice note that just said, "Hey, I know you guys don't get paid anything to do this show, but we really appreciate it." And that came at a very good time over the holidays. So thanks for the kind message, House of Dow.
So I have it up. I have it up on their all products, but here's the copy. House of Dow is a transgender, non-binary owned store in Toledo, Ohio that specializes in unique and vintage finds that will have you wanting to show us your ravioli necklaces, button up a Blockbuster video management polo shirt, and put on some giant rubber clown shoes, all of which can be found on the website at houseofdow.com. New inventory is added weekly. Shipping is worldwide. And if you're near Toledo, stop in to meet Alan and Jay, the Melindas, who brought you Video Game Underground.
Yes.
Oh, did they sent us that?
That's what I'm just reading the copy, so I'd like to believe so.
Wow.
It is you said it's a store that's non-binary. I didn't know stores had. I don't know.
Non-binary owned store. Did I not say owned?
Oh, owned store. Okay, I missed that part.
I don't know.
I didn't
what
know
I said.
stores had a gender, so I was a little bit confused.
Well,
all right. Yeah, cool. Again, I've been close to stopping by, but have not crossed paths yet.
No
but
more
it's on my
excuses.
list.
Next time you're in Toledo, make it happen.
Yeah,
for
I will do the
sure.
same.
Thanks for selling out. Good one. Well, let's get into Scimitar. Our friends at Scimitar. Right, I got a George-centric Scimitar tape, and this is actually a good video. It's called Screen Scaries, and it was like a bunch of like genre and horror trailers, and they got some good guests for it, as you'll see. Here's from our friends at Scimitar, Screen Scaries.
Get ready. You're about to be cast into a world of zombies, murderers, sexy women, blood-soaked creatures, and monsters from hell. Plus,
George, that's what you say before you dream every night, right?
Get ready.
This plays right before your dreams.
world of zombies, murderers, sexy women, blood-soaked creatures, and monsters from hell. Plus, we'll be visiting with Linnea Quigley, Russell Striner, and John Russo, Bobby Brucey. Plus,
hello. Hi. George Romero. Oh, hi. Tom Savini. Nice to meet you. Same here. I've heard a lot about you.
okay, the popcorn is tucked between your legs, and your hottest girlfriend, with whom you've yet to score, is nibbling on a milk dud.
Boy, the one movie that really caused a stir was Silent Night, Deadly Night, and that really was so surprising because I'd gone to the screening of it, and when I was doing it, I thought, how stupid is Santa Claus Killer? It's another horror movie. But that movie was hard to work on because I was impaled on antlers, and I wouldn't suggest it to anyone. It's not a good way to die.
This is John Terrence. He's my love interest in this film, and this is his death scene, and he swallowed like a gallon of blood, and the wasp has pierced him from the other side, and this is He's a terribly exciting Shakespearean actor, and he actually did this as a favor.
The end. Screen scaries for George.
Wow. Was there any documentary that Tom Savini was not in?
No, he was in them all. And this was a 2-pack for Scimitar, and he was in the second one as well. It was called Horror Effects, which we've played before. But yeah, a lot of fun.
Speaking of George Romero, we're going to be in Pittsburgh this Thursday.
Yes.
And then we're in Cleveland on Friday, and then Columbus on Saturday. Come out and see us. We're doing our 20th anniversary show. It's a fun one.
Yep, special guests are coming. And I just tracked down somebody from a Cleveland tape who I talked to on the phone. And I don't want to reveal who it is. Maybe I will next week.
Why don't you reveal it?
Should I
get
say?
people out to the show. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't have the clip handy, but there's a video we played.
Don't remember the name.
A 1979 disco show. Somebody named Frank sent us this footage. It was a show called Weekday Fever, a disco show, and they're doing a Macho Man contest for the most macho guy in Cleveland. And there's one guy who did it just to get off work. There's the other guy who was a pizza. He sold pizza, but he was the second runner-up. And I think the first runner-up was a guy named Weasel Strychnine, and he was kind of a rocker dude. And it turns out he works in like film transpo in Cleveland and is still in a band and has a thriving t-shirt business and owns 3 houses. I learned this because I talked to him for about an hour on the phone. Within 5 minutes, he goes, "Hey, do you like corned beef?" And was immediately suggesting that we all go out for corned beef at a place called Joe's
Weasel
Deli.
Strychnine will be at
and that's his name.
His birth name? I want to see his birth certificate. Tell him to bring his birth certificate.
But he still goes by that. In other words, it's not just like a stage name.
Yeah,
Everybody knows him as
I still
Weasel
want to see his
Strychnine.
birth certificate.
Okay, well, I'll ask him to bring it because he's coming to the show on Friday in Cleveland, and we'll be full of corned beef. Well, you and Weasel will, Joe, but
maybe they have a vegan alternative.
I'll probably get a pickle. But anyway, that's fun. And then we got another guest coming to every one of those shows, so gonna be fun. Come see us on the road. And we just added, by the way, a show in Baltimore. We haven't been there in a decade, but we're gonna be there soon.
Christopher's line there was really good. That was a perfect reference. Best corned beef I've had in a long time.
From Adventures in Management.
We got to get you that drop, Steve. Make a note.
When something's boring.
Yes, best corned beef I've had in a long time.
All right.
All right. I got a tape. I'm excited for this. Very rarely does this come along where you have a tape that has a triple corner trifecta.
Never been done.
No, it hasn't. I was hoping. It seems like
doubles.
It seems like a tape that would have. I'm not going to reveal the name. It seems like a tape that would have flying windows too, and I was disappointed that they weren't there. But it has 3 others. Steve, roll a celebrity bullshit for me, would you?
Celebrity bullshit. Celebrity bullshit.
First up for this celebrity bullshit, I'm going to give you a hint who the celebrity is. He's the host. This is a blooper video, okay? Blooper blunder. So we're going to guess whether it's blooper blunders or follies.
Oh, it's that segment too.
Coming up soon, but it's hosted by a celebrity. And this celebrity was a wacky neighbor on an 80s sitcom.
Jim J. Bullock.
Okay. Steve?
What was the hint exactly?
A wacky neighbor on an 80s sitcom.
Oh, Stabone, whatever his name is from Growing Pains.
Boner?
Stabone, that's it.
Okay.
Mark Price.
Okay, now I'm going to give you another hint. What we know him as is a Christian superhero. We have 8 of his videos.
Willie Ames.
Okay, here we go.
Hi folks, I'm Willie Ames. You know, over the years, we've all had a lot of fun fishing and an equal amount of fun watching fishing shows. When we grew up with them, we couldn't wait week to week to watch our heroes battle those fish. Well, I'm very proud to announce that we have assembled the greatest collection of behind-the-scenes outtakes from fishing shows ever.
Okay, buckle up.
Fishing show outtakes.
Yep.
What everyone is clamoring for.
Okay, so is this tape called World Class Fishing Funnies Flounders and Fumbles, or All-Star Fishing Bloopers. I'm going to play the opening clips from it. You should be able to deduce just based on the outtakes that you'll see which one this is. All right, here we go.
Close to a flying window. I was making light of it. These seem pretty good, actually.
Yeah, some of them are pretty good. A lot of them, I think, were fake. You know.
Oh, that's a problem. All those Babe Winkleman ones, they seem fake to me.
Yep.
That was hilarious. How all those fish were fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, which
man.
one is it? Based on which?
Yeah, oxygen. Well, Flounders would be too clever. I don't think they're going that far. So I'm going to say All-Star Fishing Bloopers.
Okay, Steve, what do you think?
I was thinking the same thing as Nick, but I'll instead go world-class fishing funnies.
Okay, and George.
I know it's not, but I appreciate the effort you put into Flounders and Fumbles.
And it's not easy to write that upside down either.
No.
It's tough. All right, so here it is. Here's your answer. Get your ears on. All-Star Fishing Bloopers.
All-Star Fishing. Okay.
Yep, Nick, you got it.
Yes.
All right, but okay, so we got 2 down, right? Guess what else we have in here?
Wow.
Yep, we got a funny name. And it's pretty full. Honorable mentions getting fuller, and it's even going to get fuller after this one. We don't have a good letter for this one, but it deserves
If only
to
we
be.
could kick Steve Martin off the list, but unfortunately he's there to stay.
There's nothing I can do. I mean, if you have an idea of who we can put
hands are
in
tied.
there.
Luckily, everybody in the comments is okay with it.
Yep, they're fine. They're like, Steve Martin's good. He should stay in.
I definitely don't get emails and texts about it all the time. That's for sure.
Okay, here's the newest inductee.
And remember, Rayovac alkaline batteries are virtually mercury-free. Once more. And remember, Rayovac alkaline batteries are virtually mercury-free.
I think that they're made up.
You think that's
you?
I don't know. He's doing
I believe it's real.
He's doing the thing where you're saying the syllable of the word after it.
Yeah.
In the word before
Well,
it.
Steve,
That's
you're
a
the
common-
expert, so you would.
Yeah.
You would.
I don't know if I'm an expert at reading flubs. Reading if people are flubbing. I'm just an expert at reading flubs.
What are we?
This is not that tough, I can say this. Once more. And remember, Rayovac alkaline batteries are virtually mercury-free. See, I told you I could.
Babe Winkleman.
Babe Winkleman added to the list.
We can't replace Phoebe
no,
Weeby.
trust
and
me,
bend
I
over.
tried.
Or wait, Sally Buttcakes has got. Well, Sally Buttcakes could go. No. Well, it's
you
just
move
it's a
Sally
math problem.
Buttcakes
Trust me, Nick. I got the calculator out and I worked the whole thing. Babe Winkleman is honorable mention and he's staying there.
All right.
Unless you want to get rid of
Wow.
Phoebe Weeby, but I don't think anybody wants to do that.
No.
So.
Speaking of, I found a Babe Winkleman tape on the road, or this was in the office, so I don't know where it came from, but Understanding Crappie.
It's crappy, I think. I think
Yeah,
it's understanding crappy.
I like to read whenever I see the word on a VHS tape. If you say it as crappy, then it's even funnier. So, Understanding Crappy from
Look at that head of
Babe
hair that Winkleman has. He's like the Guy Fieri of fishing, isn't
Why
he?
is he pitching Rayovac batteries? I don't understand what.
That's why I think it's fake, because I don't see Rayovac having that low of a budget. But Crappy is the Loch Crap Monster, right? Is that the other name for Crappy?
What do you mean?
You know the Loch Ness Monster is Nessie.
Yeah.
So Crappy.
I see.
Loch
Loch
Crap
Crap
Monster. And you know, the more you have to explain a joke, the funnier it is.
Maybe it is time for you to take a little hiatus.
Bye, everybody.
I think
It's
it'd be
real.
good for you.
I think you're ready. Actually, this is for the better.
Well, I mean, you're locked in for this show at least.
Yeah.
But, then a little breather might be nice. Let's. We have one more segment before we get into raviolis. Flying windows. Let's do it. George, do you get into the history of the mob at all?
Sure.
Okay, then this one's for you. This is sent in by Don.
You shouldn't have, Nick. That was so nice of you.
It's actually been on deck for a few weeks, but it's time to play it. It's been in the hopper far too long. So it's a documentary, a really long documentary that uses a lot of flying windows. Wayne, get your counter out.
Whoa. Wow. Was that a snuff window back there?
It might be.
This is the Las Vegas Strip today. Broadway West, the great neon way. Money, power, sex. That's what it's all about on this street of streets in Las Vegas. Men like Ice Pick Willie Alderman, Gus Greenbaum, Mo Sedway, men like Ross Miller, the father of Nevada's current Lieutenant Governor, Bob Miller.
Under the old black magic cauldron.
But it just bombards you with flying windows right out of the
It made me a
gate.
window I couldn't refuse. The thing, this has everything except for a key light on the guy talking at the intersection.
Yeah, just blend it in with the background.
As long as they have a microphone, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I thought the guy coming up behind was going to knock him off. I clearly did.
Yeah, I know. I thought he was going
being
to say
loud.
Howard Stern's penis or something, but
Was
no,
it?
he just
Was there a dead guy in one of those windows? I think there was.
I think there was. Yeah, they always showed the St. Valentine's Massacre, and all that, and all those mob books. So
I
probably.
don't know if we've ever had a dead body in a flying window. Let's
That
ask
might be
Wayne.
first.
We can
Yeah,
ask Wayne.
We'll ask our czar of flying windows, Wayne. So, yep, that was especially for you, George. Now let's get into a very George-centric "Show Us Your Ravioli" segment.
Come on, let's see your raviolis. Show us 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 your raviolis.
What do you think? You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll start off with a video. I thought about showing this for Thanksgiving, but I'm glad I saved it for the George episode. George, I know you talked about how you and people of a certain age were disturbed by the miniseries V, which was about aliens who landed on Earth, and there was a birth, and I think you tracked down the location of the alien baby.
Yes, the puppet.
The puppet,
Perhaps the
right?
puppet, yeah.
Yeah, so that left an indelible mark. A very disturbing show for kids.
Was it for kids?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're a kid,
Oh, I
it's a
see.
disturbing show. But kids are irresistibly drawn to, a show about aliens. So a lot of people watched it and were disturbed by it. So why not include them in the 1984 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which is already very surreal. This is luckily somebody recorded this. It's not very good quality on VHS, but I think of all the. It's still a very surreal, bizarre thing to explain to anybody what goes on in this parade, but especially in 1984. Take a look.
Mary Lou Retton in a tribute to the Olympic athletes. Florence Henderson
Nick and
sings.
Red Robin?
And the stars of
Don DeLuise.
As we rejoin the parade, as among those you can count who've got it made this holiday morning, you can count the Rocking Lion. For aboard, he's got two of the lovelier ladies you'll see today, Audrey and Judy Landers, here together not only as sisters, but also the best of friends.
Judy Landers was in an episode of Alf. Do you remember which one, George?
Oh, the one where I fell asleep?
No, it was the Wayne Schlegel episode where he gets amnesia and thinks he's a salesman for Michigan.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And they were in movies together, the Lander sisters. She was in a lot of those exploitation movies in the 80s.
Now, two of the good people in this business, good only in real life, because in, I guess, on film, she's as evil as you can get. Jane Badler, who is writing in, stars as Diana on the series V, and with her is Mark Singer, who is the role of freedom fighter Mike Donovan.
George, are you scared right now?
By the way.
Nobody's giving birth on the screen, so I'm all right. Right? That's.
I think
that
they
was
should
my
have.
main-
They need the alien baby, like in in
like
the back.
a float of it.
Yeah.
Just coming out of a human woman float. Yeah.
The only thing I remember from V is the two-headed dog. Am I misremembering that, or was there a two-headed dog in that?
I don't remember. Mainly, it was a guinea pig being eaten. That was done with special effects, as you're.
By one of the aliens, right? That was their diet.
Two-headed dog. Somebody in the comments is going to know. Maybe it was that. I don't
People in
remember.
the comments are talking about them eating rats. That's the big.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like there's a two-headed dog.
Comes to us from Mr. and Mrs. John Patricia.
Scares the shit out of me.
Need I introduce our next entrant? Pat Sajak touched on it just a little bit earlier. Yogi Bear, 65 feet high now.
You know, it's too bad that Betty Boop and I didn't make the movie on Golden Pond together. Would have been great. We would have called it Boop and the Old Poop.
As a Poop fan, I had to. Rich Little doing.
Hi, that's me right here in the Cabbage Patch. You know, all Cabbage Patch kids live down yonder, just waiting to be adopted. You know, these kids are just like children we all know. They're huggable and lovable, and they sure know how to have a good time.
Have good vision.
The flow was still better than Camp Cabbage.
That's what happened to the Cabbage Patch.
Don DeLuise interviews a balloon named Garfield, a performance from Fraggle Rock, and John Schneider sings right after this.
What a time to be alive. What a time to be a kid and celebrate.
What objects will be leaving for archaeologists? It's what are they going to be able to make of if should we survive the near future?
That's the whole ethos of our show, George. Is you know,
explainer. This is like hopefully they'll look for this and say, what was Camp Cabbage? And
nobody will ask that.
We'll be the
nobody will ask.
We'll be the ones to tell them. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I got so when you die, when people die, it's go on. It's been said that your life flashes before your eyes. You have all these images from your life.
It has
maybe even
said,
some.
Yeah.
I think that's said in the Bible there too. I think the Bible says that happens. But when George dies, there are going to be different images that flash, and that's what this corner is all about. Is George's deathbed visions. I've been doing this for the last 2 or 3 years. I decided to put them all together into one.
Oh, wow!
And so we get to hear that whole song with all of George's deathbed visions.
You might pass away after seeing this, George.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I've been showing you all of your deathbed visions over these years. I have a feeling that when you actually die and you have these visions, you're going to get bored during them. You know, when you see these deathbed visions, you're going to get bored.
I got through the alphathon.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Like, what's something going between two fishes' mouths? Seen it before.
Coming right up. Here it is.
That old image.
All of George's deathbed visions.
Okay.
George's deathbed visions.
Let's forget about this one.
This song is going to play too during this deathbed visions.
Right. Are these four windows going to be beside it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll all be there.
I'm surprised Dr. Amigo made the list.
Definite deathbed vision.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The tamale maker's definitely going to be in your visions.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Japanese Kleenex word.
Suck it, losers. It's Calvert DeForest.
George's deathbed visions.
The extended cut of the song.
I'm ready, Lord. Take me.
I think I'm gonna be ready too.
You did die on a Halloween episode, but I think you came back after that. So Maybe
It's not
tonight.
clear.
Yeah, Georges have 9 lives, so yeah.
By the way, we took George, Steve and I took George out for his first Indian food experience on Sunday, and I'm surprised you're still alive to tell the tale. What did you think? Because
really glad-
just to set it up, you have a very limited palate. It's usually power bars and pancakes.
I usually eat at the same restaurant for years on end.
And the same order.
I got to go to that restaurant with you, and you walked in. He's like, "Hey, George, the usual." It was like that. It was just like, a piece of bread with like
the
a piece of
Chinese
meat on it.
place in Philadelphia you took us to. You had your order there that you always went to. So you were trying a new restaurant, a new type of cuisine, and you were nervous about it.
What's interesting is that people I know who love Indian food could not identify any of the food stuffs that were on the table.
What?
So I mean, for me, it was all right. I'm really glad I got to hang out with you and Steve. That was mainly where.
All right, one of the best South Indian restaurants in the country.
If that's not a ringing endorsement, I don't know what is.
They didn't have like power bar flavored anything like
it was fine.
If I could have put the paper dosa in like a power bar wrapper, maybe then it would have
mind over matter.
Tricked you into all right, so my turn. I've got one that I'm excited about. This is nowhere on the internet, and it's very rarely seen. It's pretty rare. It's a CBS Schoolbreak special. So there were after school specials on ABC, but CBS from like the late 80s to the mid 90s had CBS Schoolbreak specials. And the one that I picked out is Celebrity Bullshit. Can you play it again, Steve? Play the intro again? Yeah.
Oh, I'm not ready for that. Hold on.
Wow. Any guesses as to who's in this 1992 CBS?
Scott Willie Ames.
Okay.
Is it live action or animated?
Live action.
Oh.
Give us some hints.
Name
an actor.
This person was on a sitcom, and these generally star younger people.
A sitcom that generally stars younger people?
No. These specials star younger people, and this person was on a sitcom.
I could go Jeremy Miller.
Okay. Steve?
I had Ted Danson in my head. I know that doesn't your clue completely threw everything off.
I'll stick with Willie Ames.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Steve meant Tina Yothers.
And I'm not telling you the title either because it's kind of a funny reveal.
Yeah, well, what if it just happened to me?
It wouldn't.
How can you be sure?
For starters, we have to do more than just kiss. Boys, there's something we have to tell you. Wow, you guys still do it?
Are these our children? Are you saying that your mom's gonna have a baby?
Calm down.
But she's so old.
That's what I said.
Here we go.
How did we not get it?
Bryce Beckham, the person George guesses for every Celebrity Bullshit.
Except for this one.
Now, this is...
You with Jeremy Miller on this one.
This isn't Bryce here, but Bryce, this is post-Belvedere, so his voice has changed, and it's a little alarming. So we'll see him. We saw him earlier, but you might not have recognized him.
I didn't recognize him.
This is about how to deal with your older parents having a baby, and it's about how these two teenagers are dealing with it. That was
those are the problems.
Yeah, that's an issue they wanted to tackle in 1992.
You want to die, turkey? Up and around, and game over. Yo, jerk face, you talking about yourself again? Now, Teddy, now. Come on, boy, come on. Dribble and die. You scared him, butthead. It's Mr. Butthead to you. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mr. Butthead. Retainer face. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Mr. Butthead. Hey, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Bad day at the bank? Oh, I've seen him before.
No.
Look at
Robert
the makeup
Picardo.
on him. What's that?
His name is Robert Picardo. He was on Star Trek Voyager and a lot
Yeah,
of other things.
it says, yeah, in the credits it says, and featuring, look at the makeup they put on the mom. She's supposed to, I guess, have like morning sickness or something.
Oh.
But yeah, here's a little bit more.
I thought she was dying.
Yeah.
At the bank?
No.
Bad time of the month?
No.
You want to tell me about it?
No. But I will later. Excuse me.
Sound designers could not resist when there is Chinese food. Doing that. They're like, hey, can we throw in a little here? Yeah, why not?
Did they add a gong at the end of it?
No,
'Cause that's
this one
usually
they
the
did.
next.
They
Okay.
showed restraint. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pregnant.
Didn't you use anything?
Are these our children?
Mom, I need to know. Did you forget?
No, we did not forget. At least we don't think we did.
We have that video.
I hope we do, yeah. I included that part because it's a top loader.
Yeah, you got to include a top loader.
That's like you guys as back then watching videos and making fun of them.
Absolutely.
We'll return after these messages.
How did you not pick Bryce Beckham? That's your thing.
I was setting. Yeah, I was just. Yeah, I was
It's
just
just a
lobbing
meatball right across the plate.
It was a can of corn, and you couldn't hit it. So
George knew he needed a break when
Exactly. It's time. It's
I have
time to go out.
that nobody's ever seen before. And my pitch for EP mode is to prolong George's departure is to watch that whole thing with George. Just let us know. It's pretty great.
Maybe George can just watch it by himself for EP. How about
Better.
that?
Yeah, I'll send you the file.
We could take the week off.
Yeah,
and then
okay.
George could just
Great. That'll be your farewell. The last time anyone sees you. That's yeah. But anyway, that's my pitch for our bonus episode this week on Patreon. Let us know what you think.
Okay, so the Amish have a thing. You're familiar with the Amish, right?
Yeah, they have a different word for snow. They have like 100 different words.
No.
Right?
You're thinking of somebody else. You're
Oh,
thinking
okay.
of another culture.
Oh.
This is the Amish. They have a word called rumspringa. And
Right.
George, what you're doing, if we were all Amish, you would be going on your rumspringa, where you can break from the sect and you can attempt to you have the option of going somewhere else. But then if you don't want to, and they usually do, they come back to the Amish community
because their band doesn't work out, and they're like, I gotta.
Well,
yes.
No,
it's
it's
this
like
or an office job, you know. I'm gonna raise a barn.
You've told me you're looking to go over to Red Letter Media for a few months, and but we think you're going to come back to us.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
George, there's a video that where is it? I had it around here. It's a video about the Amish, and this is about the rumspringa. And so, George, I just take notes. I feel like there's some valuable information here for you.
Okay, I haven't seen this.
And this is one of those videos that I was hoping would be funny, but it was actually interesting. And I ended up just
Those are the
watching
worst.
entire I know. I do not like that.
It's a waste. Yeah, you're just like, yeah, I hate.
I
when
learned
that
all
happens.
this new stuff about the Amish, and it was terrible. And it's actually well shot.
Yeah, that's a very.
Since the option was open,
shot.
do we want to join a church where we can drive cars?
Look at that.
And have radios and telephones and
I
things
thought there was
like
gonna be a
this?
horse pulling it.
Horse pulling a Studebaker.
What if it was a horse driving it?
That's part of the Amish culture.
Phones and things like this, or are we going to stay in the Amish church and be faithful?
This is not my edit.
Turned into it.
This is not my edit.
Visions.
Not my edit. That's the way they had it.
Wow. Little detour.
There are increasing accidents on the road, and it's a problem for the Amish people to cross the major highways.
Look who needs
Accidents
modern
will happen,
medicine
and
now.
I think the Amish are somewhat resigned to them.
That was a shot that they actually had it. Wow. There it is.
The best raw meat I've had in a while.
It's raw meat I've had in a long time. But
so there you
see
go,
if you can
George.
pull that drop now. We might need it later this episode.
Oh yes, I'll work on that.
All right, that's Shows Your Raviolis. Do we have an outro for that?
Shows your raviolis. Shows your raviolis. Shows your raviolis.
All right. We should give some time over to George. I know you gave an eloquent speech last week, but you got more to say.
Well, George, should we have Steve go first, or
he wants to go
George
second?
I thought I should go after George, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what is it? It's 250 pounds of lovable trouble named George. George, will you get out of my bed and go downstairs? It's George, by George. You'll want to bring the whole family to see George.
Oh,
what?
Oh no, we lost him.
Woo!
Oh.
All right. No, I got my speech out of the way. I don't have anything planned. That was sort of the
okay. So this is just back to normal segment now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, last week was the emotional ejaculation, if you will.
That's a subtle way of putting it. Yeah.
I won't.
This week is the the refractory period where you feel embarrassed and apologize to everyone else on the subway. All right, so here so we're going to go back into George's sack of George.
Okay, good sound effect.
Yeah.
Whammies, no whammies.
So special.
Okay, so this is the Western tradition to bring us a time-traveling flying window. Okay, this is a long walk. I'm so sorry, but okay. So the Western tradition is a PBS telecourse that was on from 1 to 6 in the morning for decades, and I loved it. The Western tradition was just one of several shows like Dr. Philip Zimbardo's Psychology. You may have like drunkenly passed these in the middle of the night, but they're really, really, really good, and they're all on YouTube now, I think.
By the way, George revealed a fact during our dinner at Indian that he's been not listening to podcasts, but watching Yale University classes online.
They're so good.
In your spare time, you're learning about pre-Roman history from Yale professors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comedy gold. But why make jokes about now when you've got thousands of years of people who already made jokes and you can reuse them and nobody knows that they think you made them up. All right, so this is Dr. Eugene Weber from UCLA. He put out let's see. This is a 2-book series that covers everything from like the cavemen to 1989, and it's also available as in 52 half-hour parts.
For those hot slabs.
But I would just put it on. In fact, I still put it on sometimes to go to sleep to, which is fucking bizarre. But the opening credits are flying windows that take us through the history of humankind. Here we go.
Wow.
How did they do that?
Oh, it's going behind
What?
Whoa. Oh, God, I feel sorry for the lady.
Well, I don't know if this counts.
Well, the chapel window.
It's not in the segment, though. It's on the corner.
Yeah.
I think it counts.
Okay, so this guy, I love his voice, and I think it's because he sounds like Dungeon Master from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. And yes, and I believe Dungeon Master smokes a pipe sometimes too. Yeah. But so here, I want you to hear his voice and Dungeon Master.
Medieval Christendom was like one of the stone monsters that adorned its buildings. It had 2 heads, not 1.
There will be someone to guide the way. And remember, in darkness, look to the light.
Once you start asking questions, it's very hard to stop.
You will find your way, or rather, your way will find you.
Time itself is a vague and indifferent concept.
Your strength will be found in weakness.
If cats could write history, their history would be mostly about cats.
Okay, moving on.
He seems like a late period Harvey Korman character. That's
Yeah, that might be the way I stretch the screen. I don't know, but he's diminutive. He's extremely brilliant, and I can't usually follow what he's saying. So when I fall asleep listening to his voice, it's like I'm leaving the world and history and the future in somebody else's hands. I'm done.
Did his show end on a cliffhanger too that was unresolved?
It was in the last episode. It's about like what will the future be like, and he
might
talks,
be Dungeon Master then.
There was a great line he had about, and so we are left alone in a godless world with no one even to complain to anymore. I love that line. All right, so this is Figure It Out. This is part of the future game shows that there may be special episodes that happen on as part of this YouTube network, if you'll have them. And this is something I want to do because I already made the opening credits. We were going to try to do it last month, but it didn't quite happen. It's Mask Me Another with action figures.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So we'll start off with category movies. Name the character in the movie.
Oh, Smokey the Bandit.
Yeah, I think that's Smokey.
Wow, I would not have gotten it, but you guys.
As I believe the Earthlings say, lay it on me, man.
That is right. It is Bandit, and I think I would have given it to you, even though this is technically Smokey and the Bandit 2.
Oh,
and I said it was Smokey, of course. Yeah, Burt Reynolds was the Bandit.
So
it was the hat. It was the hat more than anything, and the mustache.
Right. And so the game is you have to just name, like you get the points if you name the character, or you get the points if you name the show or movie or toy line or whatever. If you get both, you get double the points.
Okay, we'll have it.
When you leave, is this what you're working on the entire time? That you're going to be gone?
No, that was the board game show. That was what I spent 2024 on.
Right,
but no,
okay.
this is something. Each of you will be paired up. The first episode will be with like action figure connoisseurs like Jen Lemasters and Mark Breeze,
Bill
and
Mancuso.
Bill Mancuso, and then the second episode will be more 70s, and it will be you guys teamed up with the Dinah Show guys. So it'll be teams. So, all right.
Okay.
So one other thing here. This is. Short-lived TV shows. So this is forgotten TV gimmicks. One that came back to me while I was doing a Rent a George. This is. Do you remember this show?
World-famous Super Roller Dome. It's a sellout
Yes.
for the television premiere of Rollergames.
I do not.
Tonight, it's
Oh, I watched it when I could. It was syndicated.
Oh yeah, I think I remember this. Yeah, it was on late night.
not the
Yeah,
devastating
usually.
So the thing that was different. The thing that was insane about it was that, in general, it was just like WWF or American Gladiators, except that this ended. The matches would end with an alligator, two guys trying to throw each other into an alligator pit, if there was no clear winner, in sudden death overtime. So I just wanted to show a little bit of that. This seems like something I should have shown like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That in the final seconds, it is at this moment a dead heat.
So normal, like a regular roller derby.
Yeah.
But if nobody wins,
Well, Chuck,
Bring out the
a new
Gators.
meaning to the term sudden death, because I'll tell you, it could be devastating if one of those players gets in that alligator pit.
so and then it turns into the Running Man.
Solid goal.
That poor confused alligator.
There are 3 7-footers and 1 big 10-footer known as Rollergator. There he is right there. Look at those teams.
He's on roller skates too.
Both teams have been cheering on their designated Gator skaters, and here we go in sudden
Damon
death.
Killian, the
Each
host
skater
of this?
wears
Yeah.
a ceremonial
Okay.
There better be
sudden
blood.
death hood. We don't know how they're going to play it, but they're now showing us that rather than win the lap, they're going to try to wrestle each other over that rail. Down goes the T-Bird Gator skater.
Now the Violators got him by the shirt. He's got him up to the rail. He's pulling him off. Oh, the T-Bird went in.
Crowd loving it.
Get away from him. It could be devastating. Get that man out of the
Kids love it.
Yep.
Everybody loves it.
The alligators are
tonight.
heavily sedated right now.
Yeah, but it's time for me to get into my sack.
Oh, now he's back in until we bring it back again.
And I spent 3 hours animating that today. With every second.
See, that's the problem. You spent 3 hours editing you going into a sack for the show.
But it's what the Melindas deserve and demand.
Yeah, exactly. And you use the perfect sound effect, the splat sound effect going back into the sack, because that's what it sounds like.
And there is somebody else who wanted to say something.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this a special guest?
Let's go.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, Mr. Sprinkles.
Oh, it's Mr. Sprinkles.
If it isn't the VCR party boys.
Yep.
What a picture of diversity. All shades of white are represented, from eggshell to transparent. Oh, look! It's Joe Pickett.
Oh,
if you're here, who's harassing the staff of Bazingas? Joe recently moved west to Chicago, so he's 1 hour drunker now. No. I know you've been sober for over a year. Congratulations. So what's your excuse for your behavior now?
Oh, good point, Mr. Sprinkles.
Mr. Sprinkles, you're making me very angry.
Oh, and I've seen your raviolis. They're neither hot nor little. They're always such a long walk. Hey, I've got a long walk for you. Into a ravine.
Yeah,
Mr. Sprinkles.
You tell him.
Oh,
you tell him, Sprink.
Oh, if I could just.
Oh, and then there's Nick.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Nick, if you're here, who's bidding on the Faces of Death crew jacket on eBay?
Oh, hey. No, I put a low minimum on that.
I could tell Nick was a vegan the first time I met him. I've had better conversations with a side of beef.
Oh, come on now, Mr. Sprinkles. I'm a good
Hey!
Huh?
Nick loves puppets, but he's a terrible ventriloquist. He put his hand up my ass, but told me not to say anything.
Well, that was our secret, Mr. Sprinkles.
That's not even my joke. I stole it from Shopgo.
Hey, now.
That's funny because it's true.
You don't want to get banned from that or the optical.
Oh, and then there's Steve. Ooh la la, Frenchie. His tongue has filled more cavities than Dr. Zussman.
Oh, whoa. Shots fired.
Cut reference. Wow.
Yeah, he's the Frenchman. Parlez-vous, flub? Don't be so hard on Steve, fellas. He's proof that even God makes flubs once in a while.
Wow, Mr. Sprinkles, don't be a dick.
That's a little
That's
too
so
far.
mean.
Wow.
Look, I'm sorry I'm interrupting the badminton semifinals or whatever the hell you're watching simultaneously on C-SPAN 19.
Wow,
and finally there's George. They told me you're leaving. Boo-hoo! Where are they ever going to find another self-involved, middle-aged, guitar-playing, mediocre white guy in Brooklyn? You're so far up your own F's, even Dr. Scholes couldn't get you out. I hear you're planning to record more music. Why? Great White killed more fans than you even have.
Oh, Mr. Sprinkles.
Wow.
Oh, and newsflash. Being a germaphobe is not a personality. But seriously, we're going to miss you. And I've got to give you credit. You got me back into rehab and back on track and back on stage in Vegas where I'm getting more ass than a washlet bidet. Catch me at the Bellagio February 5th through 8th and on OnlyFans for feet pics. Sprinkles out.
Oh, Sprinkles is out.
Sprinkles.
Wow.
Oh, wow. What an
unexpected
unpleasant surprise.
delight.
That's,
I love him, but he just no punches are pulled.
Can Mr. Sprinkles fill your seat, George, while you're gone? Maybe and we'll just sit here and take his abuse.
My favorite part is seeing the file names for each photo go back and forth. That was the best part at the top.
What is it?
Movie magic.
JPEG?
It's BNC.
Yeah.
I think one's a PNG and one's a JPEG too.
What was the origin of Mr. Sprinkles? Was it just that old photo of you look like a ventriloquist? You look like a ventriloquist.
Yeah, Joe said it was like a ventriloquist dummy. And
So then he appeared on Quarantine Classics when we were all locked in and had that bonus show.
Right. Then he was on Ed Sullivan, and then he did a celebrity roast.
Yeah. He did a rap.
He did a rap, and I tried today to get him on on an episode of Hollywood Squares, but
it's a failed for every project you do pull off. I want to see
there's like 2 to 5 ones that did not happen.
I want to see a montage of George's failed Tailed corners.
That's why I'm taking time off to.
That's a Patreon right there.
Just send us those during the interim. We'll play those to fill time. I mean, that's all we're looking to do here. So
we're all just filling time.
In a way, it's true. Yeah.
Steve, you put together a little something nice.
I got to close out George first.
Oh yeah,
of course.
With love from George.
Oop, wrong person.
What are we?
Oh, there we go.
There we are.
That's it. That's why I don't give me any jobs, because I can't do any of them. You know, obviously been ripped apart by the news, and had a number of celebrities reach out to me, and they were distraught over the news as well. So they sent me a few videos for George, and I'm going to play it now.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen these. What are we?
All night, you know this is George's last performance, and we're not the only ones heartbroken over the loss. Of course, it cuts through all our cultures.
We were so shocked. What did you think when you heard
It was devastating. In the 80s, he was my nemesis.
Right?
We
You were
and I think that, vice versa. Because Culture Club got successful in America, then George got successful in America and became like a huge star here. We're talking about him a lot. What a loss. What a loss. What a shame.
Let's say goodbye the right way.
George, good luck with everything you do.
Goodbye, George. Goodbye, George. Good luck.
Goodbye, George.
People of Philadelphia, Channel 7 is back on the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the only show on Philadelphia featuring a live human heart. We have it here. What are you going to do?
George is okay.
Except for the convulsions and vomiting during the show.
10 years later, and as many as 50 pounds heavier, he drew headlines and eventually lucrative endorsements with a new, friendly, fun-loving attitude.
What do you mean?
After 4 years of building momentum, he earned credibility all in one night.
And then after finding the VIN number on her car, I was able to find...
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. I was able to
No way.
Whoa. I was able to find her cell phone number, so I left a message.
You're kidding me.
Oh my God. And then while I'm leaving the message, I realized like I'm not like officially associated with VCR Party. I mean, not like in a legal sense. So I'm
now.
I'm expecting.
You look up the VIN number, welcome aboard.
It happened! It happened! In all, George were huge ratings attractions, in part because of George's personality.
Well. If it isn't the found footage guys, you think my performances wouldn't.
George, you've been a fighter all your life. Keep fighting.
George, you rock. Good luck, man.
Goodbye, George. Yeah, you're one of my heroes. I miss you. What?
Well, I heard you leaving, and I felt bad for a minute.
Goodbye, George.
But then I had one of them sandwiches, and I figured you will be just fine.
Tonight, though, we say goodbye to George the Broadcaster. Opinionated, frank, unique. Who knows what new heights George will scale in his so far singular tour on the planet. There's a farm to be managed, children still to be raised, a food line, a clothing line still to be promoted. There are sermons to be delivered, and commercials to shoot. And every once in a while, and who knows when George will begin resisting the hype instead of embracing it. But for the 30 years already spent in our lives, tonight we say thank you, good luck, and goodbye.
Goodbye, George.
So long, George.
Good luck, George.
Thanks, George.
Goodbye, George. Goodbye, George.
Goodbye, George.
Goodbye, George.
We'll miss you, George. Good luck, George. Goodbye, George. Good luck.
God bless you, George.
Keep grilling, George.
Goodbye, George.
Goodbye, George.
Thanks for the memories, George.
Good luck, George.
Goodbye, George.
George, we're gonna miss you, man.
Goodbye, George.
Goodbye, George. George, goodbye, goodbye. You gotta go to bed. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh, nice work, Steve. Nice work. Wow.
That's good.
That's a very good one.
Thank you.
Can't take it.
What are we?
Whoa.
Why did that one guy say keep on grilling, George? What did it was grilling what?
That was
I don't
weird.
remember.
Was it George Foreman, perhaps? I have a George Foreman grill.
Oh, right.
And, I'm actually taking over endorsement of that.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations. That's
They
what
think
they do.
I can sell 538 to the 538 viewers.
Look at
Also,
that.
the number of electoral votes possible. There's some weird symmetry.
We could have swayed the election. The
Yeah.
Melindas.
Damn it.
Well, that was great, Steve.
Thank
Nice
you, Steve.
edit and
Thank you.
trip down
Thank you,
memory lane.
George.
And also 2 Bryant Gumbels in one episode. He was also hosting the Macy's parade. So another milestone for us.
We doubled up on Gumbles?
We did. Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
Doubled up on gum.
Maybe we should all hang it up for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a double gumble. You can't.
We're gonna.
What are we
join
trying
you.
to do?
Hey, let's get into some nice things. We got some nice things.
Sure. Yeah, we got time for a few.
Let's do it.
Let me start off with a couple of gifts here. First of all, Bob Hedges always sends us nice things. Look at this. Big case of Melinda's hot sauce.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
So,
Yes. There we go. That's
already using one of them. So thank you for those. Also, got some good Christmas cards from our pals at the Dylan Gale Idiots. This is Ryan and Mark. Ryan is also Elmo. They gave us this nice little Christmas card.
Nice.
Got this card that said they knew about our recent porn acquisition, and they said one thing you don't have is stuff from the furry community. So we got a VHS tape from the furry community.
Oh, we
So
don't.
that was
do
awfully
Yes.
nice. Yeah, we got that. Thank you for that. That was from Roland. And then this was cool. This is like a cool handmade card. This is like 3-dimensional paper cut from Siobhan. And Siobhan said that she saw Johnny Ryan, who's one of our favorite cartoonists and has done a lot of our VHS covers, was selling a lot of his original art. And she bought something and then sent it to us and framed it. This is his volume 1 and 2 original art.
Oh.
You can see John and Johnny there. And look how cool this frame is there.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so this will be
Wow.
hanging in the office. Thank you,
That's
Siobhan.
great.
That was
Yeah,
delightful.
nice
That's
one.
what I have to show this week.
Really cool.
Okay. Steve, you had some things to read that the Melindas had sent in. Some nice things to say about George.
I did. So I got a few messages from George. Apologize for the flubs. Charlie and Teresa, they want to say a huge thank you to George. They're huge fans of his music, comedy in his segments. George has taught them a ton about obscure pop culture and also reminded them about stuff they'd forgot existed. Teresa and Charlie will be listening to Overlord cassettes on repeat until you return to the show. They want to thank you. From Don Sparrow. Hold on, I got to share my screen for this one. Don Sparrow does a lot of the drawings. He just wanted to take a moment to send his congratulations to George on everything he's done for VCR Party Live. His work has been a huge part of the show, and he'll definitely be among the many who will miss his presence on the stream. It's going to be a different vibe without him, but he's excited for the cool things George is going on next. Like so many others, he'll miss the unique perspective George brought to the show. Some of his absolute favorite moments were his contributions. These segments always made him laugh, and they definitely earned a special place in his heart.
That was nice.
Wishing George nothing but the best as he embarks on his next chapter of his journey. It's been just such a blast seeing him shine on VCR Party Live. Can't wait to see what comes up for him next. Glomer abides.
Glomer abides.
Glomer abides.
He sent a couple of these. That was a drawing he did of George as Alf. I think Carl Stitz did that one.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two of them.
Yeah.
And this was an alternate one for Saturday.
Super Friends.
He just looks ripped there, doesn't he? Look at those arms.
I think he looks ripped in real life. I mean, that's me.
Doing a lot of swimming.
That's all the power bars. Yeah.
I think this is Ross from St. Louis. Sorry, my notes are terrible. I've met George a handful of times at the Found Footage Festival events in New York over the last few years. Last April was certainly the highlight, which he was fortunate enough to see George's awesome band Overlord play at a local bar and open for the 20th anniversary show. George was kind enough to meet up with sorry, I'm getting ahead. There it is. This is a picture from them, and gave some Melindas a tour of the infamous Greenwood Cemetery. George gave us a walking tour that lasted over 2 hours, And yes,
Well,
throughout the match,
it takes a long time to dig up a grave. I'm just going to tell you.
Right.
Everybody has shovels there.
Yeah.
Ross said it was like he was hanging out with a friend he had known for years. On that sappy note, he wants to thank George for all of the simply rad thrilled moments over the years. And since you're stepping away from the show, please put those Overlord albums on vinyl.
Agreed.
Yep, that's Ross from St. Louis.
Yeah,
just
that's
like
nice.
Vincent Price. From Camden, I wanted to take a moment to thank George for all the laughs, remixes, and detective work over the years. Especially grateful for the incredible Rented George appearance at their Star Wars themed birthday party earlier this year. They hosted it at the Micro Cinema in the back of We Love Video, and they sent this photo along right there. It's a tape they found there. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is it?
It's a self-anal massage for men.
Oh, that's a good
the guy,
one.
Yeah, who talks about how he's learned to love his asshole. Yeah.
Right.
You always wear gloves when holding that cassette.
Yeah.
Because the last person who held it massaged their asshole.
It's like, you know where that's been.
Yeah.
Will, Amy, and Ajax Pie for they wanted to send just a quick note about how they've loved having George on VCR Party over the past few years. COVID times were tough on them, like many people, and being able to tune into VCR Party at least once a week was a welcome relief. Hold on one second. I'm losing. This is going to be a huge waterway.
This is the waterway segment.
The waterway.
Yeah, I mean, these might just have been better in an email, but
yeah, probably.
You could have, or edited down a little bit, but that's
fine. These are nice, heartfelt messages.
No, these are nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm Cinematic. I lost your.
Cinematic's poem was
here.
Great.
It is. I found it.
You found
I found
it.
it.
Good.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ode to George. You came, you saw, and you left your mark. You gave the guys an extra spark. Everybody wishes you weren't going. I can really see Steve loving this poem. I stubbed my own name. George, please don't go. Please just stay. Creep us all out for another day. We know life gets in the way, or if you're Jeff Goldblum, life finds a way. I said that line to try to flub Steve, but I am really sorry for you to leave. I will really miss your funnyisms. It's true, but please don't forget about us and come back soon. So goodbye to you for now. Melinda, we will hopefully see you again soon. Don't forget, we all love you to the moon. So from bunion surgery and to all the good static, please don't go forever from your friend Cinematic. P.S.
Nice.
Thank you for everything, George. Sorry for anybody that I missed out on. I'm sure there were others that I didn't get to or didn't read the entirety of, but just a quick slice of yes, probably is Mike B.
No, that was beautiful, Precious. That was a great, really long tribute.
You're a regular Babe Winkleman, Steve. You're the Babe Winkleman of reading Goodbye.
That's exactly what I wanted it to be. Now, the final nice thing, we ought to reveal the. Oh, I'm sorry, George. Did you have any? I should have given you a response to.
Oh no, just thanks everybody for paying attention to my unending bullshit, and thanks to Joe and Nick because mainly I think the thing I most want to do in life is try to make them laugh. So
that's what I want to do with my clips. I always have my eye on you to see if you're going to laugh.
Yeah.
Well, they say I think I'm trying to remember who. I think it was Kurt Vonnegut who said everybody has the secret audience that they're writing for.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about his sister was the only person that he was really writing for the whole time. And I think I'm mainly trying to make you guys laugh.
Okay.
But
you have consistently week after week.
No, I have the stats.
There I
have a graph to show.
There were a couple missteps this show, but
I was batting about. I was like 2,700.
I would say 214.
That's still it's probably all-star game. Yeah. One more nice thing. We want to reveal the results of the video of the year. It was tough. People had tough time, and I thought one video was going to run away with it, but it came down to the wire. Let me see.
Who's the winner? I have no idea. I haven't looked. Okay. I have not looked. I have no idea. Who is it?
2024 video of the year is the Continued Success Tapes with 34%. You can see, though,
Whoa.
Master the Art of Clown Makeup. It was like 32 and 32 for a long time, and then just today, continued success pulled out ahead of Mastering the Art of Clown Makeup.
Yeah,
So,
see, I think that's the right one. We had to buy a special deck for that too. We didn't have
yeah,
Beta SP. We had to
3/4
order.
inch. Or no, yeah, it was
No, it
Beta
was a
SP.
Beta SP,
Yeah.
and then we also had to get like 3 adapters, and it was worth the effort. So yes, nice work, Luke, the intern, cutting that together. He still has more footage. There's so much more continued success out there. So we're gonna mine that
Video
all
of the
year
year
long.
is the continued success tapes with Paul Stark interviewing celebrities. Very funny and somehow heartwarming as well. Hey, I wanted to get into a segment. I know this is an episode of farewells, and we have kind of a sad one. We've, since the 90s, have been obsessed with something we taped off of public access TV. Joe and I, growing up, would always have a tape in the VCR, and when anything good would come on public access or whatever, we hit play record. And so in 1991, this was like early in high school for us. There was a tape called, or a show on WYOU, that's Madison Public Access, called Disney World, One Kid's Opinion. And we saw the first few minutes, hit record. And Joe, what do you remember about this show?
Oh, I just remember the quotability more than anything. There's so many lines in there. And it seemed to be on all the time. Like that particular summer, it was on constantly. So we would just turn on WYOU and it was usually on. But I don't think we ever saw the beginning.
We hadn't, no. But just for those who haven't seen it, here's a little taste. It's a kid's review of Disney World.
My name's Mark. For years, I had been begging my parents to take me to Disney World. And last spring, my wish finally came true. So here I am with Disney World, One Kid's Opinion. Star Tours. 5 Mickeys definitely, because that's all I'm allowed to give. If I could give any higher, I definitely would. You're in a spaceship, and you have a mission with a robot who's never flown before. But my favorite part of Epcot was in the Wonders of Life Pavilion, which is located right outside the Jumping Waters. Yeah, okay. In between the Jumping Waters and the Wonders of Life, there is Michael Jackson's Captain EO. Well, that's something else, which I won't bother to review right now. Well, if you're going to Disney World, enjoy your stay. If you're not, well, I also enjoyed talking to you. Goodbye.
Oh, perfect ending.
And then it ends and then the credits roll.
Yeah.
So, Joe, you and I got upset. We would quote this.
We still quote it.
We still quote it.
You know, you talk about a movie, you're like, oh, what's that movie? I don't know. It's about a robot that's never flown before.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact so clearly, an awkward kid, so were we. But he was operating on this higher level, I think, than most people, even at an early age, because you could tell he knew that you were supposed to go to the next slide, but he got very frustrated that the director wasn't doing it. And
also, we heard later that they hadn't rehearsed, that he was sick, and that there's no cuts in that.
Right?
It's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes straight. Yeah.
It's a 20-minute thing, and he's talking extemporaneously the whole time. So, operating on a higher plane than most kids his age. Then we found out that he was living in New Orleans and I think going to graduate school or teaching at LSU. Turns out he is a genius. We met him there. He spoke fluent French and 3 other languages, was going for I think he got a doctorate in culinary studies in the Francophone world. Or
also,
something.
He had a great sense of humor about the video too.
Yes.
Yeah.
He immediately was joking about it, and we totally hit it off. And then he moved back to Madison, and we would bring him up on stage. At one point, we sent him the T-shirt he was wearing, the Disney Yacht Club Resort. We sent him a version in his adult size, and he wore it and sent us a picture. So there's him doing this. And we found out last week that he passed away. And it really hit us hard because we got to know him over the years. And I just talked to him over text, invited him to our Madison show, but he was going to see his nephews and couldn't make it, but wished us well. And oftentimes what we would do is bring him out on stage and say, well, what do you give the show so far? And he would say, you know, he was honest. Sometimes it would be 3 Mickeys.
Yeah.
Sometimes it would be 4,
Yeah.
rarely 5.
We never got Captain EO'd, though. He never Captain
no.
EO'd, though.
He didn't dismiss us that way.
Right.
But even, you know, talk about his intelligence, way ahead of his time in his assessment of Michael Jackson's Captain EO. And I remember asking him, I was like, you know, he says, like, with Star Tours, it was his favorite ride, and he said he gives it 5 Mickeys on his rating system, which he invented, because he said that's all he's allowed to give. And we would ask him, like, but why, you know, you're not allowing yourself to give more?
You
And I remember
created
him,
it.
yeah, and he just deadpan said, well, that's all the Mickey graphics would allow at the time. And so that made perfect sense.
Technology wasn't there at the time, so
yeah. And so, you know, in lieu of flowers, the families ask that people make donations to the National Alliance on Mental Health in Dane County. The link is in the description of the show. We made a donation in Mark's name. So if you have been brought joy like we have from Mark over the years and that video, we suggest you do a donation. And tonight, you know, graphics have changed, and we're doing it. We are going to give Mark Huntsman 6 Mickeys.
What? We're able to do it?
The technology has advanced. We were able to do it. It took all the processing power I had.
If we could give him 7 Mickeys, we would, but 6 Mickeys is all we're allowed to.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, we want to thank Mark and obviously thinking about his family and his partner Don and everybody. So
yeah, he's going to be missed. But we did do an
will.
EP with him, I think during the pandemic, where we watched One Kid's Opinion with him, and that was a lot of fun.
I'm going to put that outside of the paywall. I'm going to post it on our regular YouTube tonight because you get to know Mark a little bit, and it's so he's really funny in it. The end, I forgot how funny it was. I rewatched it today, so I'm going to put both the full Disney World One Kid's Opinion, which Mark's mom hooked me up with, the person who shot it years ago. So I'm going to put that on our YouTube, and our bonus EP mode with Mark, which I think is a great way to remember a really fascinating, interesting dude.
One of a kind person, for sure.
One of a kind, for sure.
Man, that's the saddest episode ever.
It is.
Mark
Sorry, everybody, but
we lost Mark. Oh man. All right. Well.
Yeah. All right. So, but we do have more coming. We will have a EP mode this week for Patreon. George, you got one more in you, or
Sure.
no? All right.
Sure.
Okay. Well, we'll see what you want to watch. Dealer's choice.
Yeah, I don't know about that Schoolbreak special. I don't know. I could be talked into it.
Pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And Valentine's Day is coming up, so if you want to get a Rent-A Joe and Nick, are you still doing Rent-A Georges during your hiatus?
No. It turned out that those ended up being like, I think the last one I did was like 35 minutes.
My God!
I turned it each one into an episode of Saturday morning cartoons. So I didn't know what to do.
Put a lot of work into ours, but not 30 minutes.
Well, when you have nobody else to talk to, you gotta. Gotta keep it going with Joe.
I want to see those. Maybe I'll get a Rent-A George.
Maybe I'll turn those into a special.
Yeah,
Best of Rent-A George. Yeah.
Oh, right. And Melinda's we're asking about. We mentioned that we're going to tape our next DVD in Branson, and we were going to do it in February. People were asking about when that's going to be, booking travel and all that. We've postponed it because we have too much going on. We got to move offices, and we're doing.
We were too ambitious with that.
Yeah.
But
So look for it around May. We'll give you details like a month ahead of time.
All right. Oh, my birthday episode's next week, so that's going to be fun. And Nick, I gave you orders. You have to call a porta potty company. I found a porta potty company in central Wisconsin that has a really boring name. I'll send you their phone number. Just talk to the receptionist and pitch new ideas. I'll send you a list of new ideas for their porta potty company.
I don't want to give too much away, but I will say that a wrestling what do you call the wrestling uniforms? The singlet, yeah. A maroon wrestling singlet and a kimono arrived today. So,
George, are you still sure you want to leave? Are you still going to watch the show?
Yes.
Okay, you'll watch the show. Okay,
sure. Yeah.
All right. Good. And then Steve, you are going to call Bazingas and try to patch things up between me and them for me. Right?
I haven't called Bazingas yet, but I do have a lead with Stumble In, which you probably didn't know that they were mad at you. But I think it's a bar on the Upper East Side I was in the other day.
They're pissed?
And apparently years ago you did something to them. So I think I'll be able to reconcile that, though. Does that work?
Hey, by the way, My Aunt Sarah knows the co-owner of Bazingas and said he would think this is all hilarious.
Is it the vice president of NBC Sports? Because that's one of the owners.
No, it's a woman. It's like, yeah. So,
okay.
I know that person was a gentleman.
Well,
so, yeah. But she has an in and said, if you ask for this person, they'll hook you up with whatever you want. So,
okay, good.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like the surly ones personally, but
well, yeah. I know. I didn't have the heart to tell her, but I appreciated that. Yeah.
All right. Next week, birthday episode, and all right, what are we going out on? I have. Steve, you played something in your thing of George's most ambitious music video that he's ever put together.
I still don't know how he did it. I mean,
that's what I think we should.
I had trouble making 6 Mickeys. I don't know how he did this.
Well, it was the pandemic had pretty much just started. New York was hit pretty early and pretty hard. There were times I went to the market a few times where there was absolutely no food, like in a horror movie, and all I could think about was that your tour was wrecked. And like, how were you guys going to make money? So I wanted to, while the world was starving, I wanted to make sure that you guys were okay. So I wanted to make a Patreon donation.
Sort of a We Are the World,
or I would say Linda O'Man,
Sure.
Yeah. But yes, and it is a plug for our Patreon, but it's really about your craftsmanship. That's why we're ending it with this. So.
All right, well, George, don't be a stranger. Come back soon.
Come back whenever the hell you want, but definitely come back. Seriously,
maybe just every week. Maybe I'll just
just pop in.
We might need to check in with you next week, and let's get that action figure game show sooner rather than later. And we got an Alphathon, and so anyway, George will be back, but we'll miss you while you're gone. And until next week, we'll see you down the road to Clondom, everybody.
Gonna miss you, George. That's all. That's it. If we had been prepared, we could have done better.
Good news, I found 3 more pages of emails, George. I'm going to read them to you now. Everybody's a puppet when they're dead.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, every single Melinda. Sprinkles out.
Back in 1986, a boy named Joe met a boy named Nick, and the love of VHS brought them together. They rose to cultural prominence with a tape of custodial maintenance that changed the course of history forever. But a microscopic adversary wrecked the Volume 9 tour itinerary. They need our help, won't you lend a love hand? Patrons will get really young, excitement and tedium from 10,000 or 10 million tapes they don't really know.
We gotta count these someday.
Bloopers and Alf, jingles and Alf, besides how to even more Alf. Nick just really likes that show.
Keep sending in the Alps.
Joe Scrapper to Baby Rapper, Frisbee fuckers to Ultimate Packer. Do what you can to help them thrive. Keep VCR party live. Patrons let the whole world see filth and sexuality. Rainbow sponge, white, red and green. Each Melinda, Marty and Steve. Vegan ass to pass with class. Rejuvenate the pastor gas. Touch of in love from their archives. Keep VCR party live. VCR party live.
When we return, Dr. Selner will complete the bunion surgery.
Yes, those are his pajamas he's wearing.
All right, I gotta go.
That's all. That's it. Let me see that one.
Rocks are done. Gotta sleep. Bye.
That's it. That it done.
We did our best. If we'd been prepared, we could have done better.
What do you think about Bibra?
About what?
An 8.
Mine not there for yuck anymore.
That's all I'm doing.
Sure, Yodel. Continued success.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Sizzler.
Tinkerbell.
Hasta la vista, baby. And I got that from Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor from California.
We'll be right back right after that.
Good luck from all of us at Hagen.
And Kurt Polstead, the real great guy.
Nice, nice.
Goodbye.
Jim's coins in Hilldale.